Hi, and welcome back to Blues Garden. Time for my very favorite video of the year. This is my 2025 gardening recap. All my harvests, my successes and failures, go over the varieties that I think succeeded, the varieties that I will do again, and I will probably mention a few that I will not be redoing. Whether it is I failed miserably and or it could possibly be that it was not as productive as I had hoped for. A word about my gardening habits. I am a bit of a geek, and so I take really meticulous records. I use Excel and I use Numbers, which is the Macintosh version of Excel, the Apple version of Excel. I track the weights of things when I harvest. I track how much watering I do, when I fertilize, and what I fertilize. So I am I'm not obsessive, but I am a bit thorough when it comes to my gardening habits and recording what I do. That way I know that I am trying to capture my mistakes and correct them and learn from them. So anyway, without further ado, the 2025 gardening recap. So potato. I do 4 kinds of potato: Yukon Gold, Adirondack Red, Adirondack Blue, and Dark Red Norland. These are all Wood Prairie Family Farm seed potato. I put them in as close after St. Patrick's Day as the weather lets me. This year I got them in around April 1st. I've had them in as early as St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Typically I put in a couple of 25-gallon grow bags of each type. And then I typically replant the Yukon Gold and the Dark Red Norland right away. That's the Adirondack Blue. Very successful year. I'm probably going to change out the Dark Red Norland for one of the other reds, just because I want to experiment. Maybe the new Sarpo seed potato that Wood Prairie Farm, the family, has developed. We shall see. A word on sweet potato. Not a very good harvest this year. I will do new slips again and try again. Garlic. Music, Chesnick Red, Russian Red. They go in mid-October sometime, usually before November 1st. Very, very happy again. I am clipping some garlic scapes. So garlic is the gift that keeps on giving. Harvest the garlic scape, and I make a garlic scape pesto. I have some fresh pesto when I first make it, and then I also freeze some of the garlic pesto. Then I can just break some off and use it to cook with when I'm making something. I get both good garlic bulbs that I can't save but will harvest. I will use some to make a garlic powder, and then some heads of garlic that are great for storage, and some that I will save for replanting. This is me grinding down some of the garlic and saving it as garlic powder. I get a couple of these small little half pints of the garlic powder. Onions. Red beer bunching, Tokyo long white bunching. I use these for my garlic powder, for my green onion. They are great for both. These guys grow like weeds almost. So I also do some dehydrating of these green onion, both the Tokyo long white and the red beard bunching. I will dehydrate them and use that. In fact, Tonight, New Year's Day, I am making some pasta sauce, and I am taking some of my frozen sauce out and using some of the dehydrated onion. I get a decent harvest. I will probably do maybe more of the shallots and more of the white Spanish, the white sweet Spanish. By the way, I also managed to save some seed this year, some onion seed. Carrot was both successful and a miserable failure. I did three kinds, even though I don't have it shown here. Danvers 126, which is your standard long carrot. I did Little Fingers, and then I did a rainbow mix of carrot. The Little Fingers were fantastic, and the rainbow mix was decent. Sort of a red, a yellow, and a small orange carrot. Decent mix, as I said. My regular carrots, the Danvers 126, were great, except for this last batch that I failed miserably because I got busy and did not get it out of the ground before it froze. Zucchini, Black Beauty zucchini is actually the only one I put in. The golden zucchini did not germinate successfully, and I was not successful at growing it. I really didn't even get it into the garden. But I got a decent bunch of Black Beauty. I will probably cut the number of golden zucchini I grow and try and grow more of the Black Beauty because, frankly, it is a family favorite. Cucumber, I am going to change up what I'm doing. The Sumter, Boston Pickling, Muncher, and Space 80. I will do one pickling type, one like 8-inch standard 6 to 8-inch regular cucumber, and then I haven't made up my mind which is which, but we'll be changing my cucumber varieties. Squash, also going to make some changes. Definitely going to keep going with the Waltham butternut. That seems to be very good. I'm not going to grow spaghetti squash anymore, just have not been successful. They always come out very tiny. And the pumpkins, the Baby Boo and the little decorative pumpkins, definitely going to grow that mix again. That makes for a nice fall centerpiece. Peas are an interesting little thing. I'm definitely growing probably at least three, if not all four of them. Very successful in terms of harvest. They just never make it inside. We eat them before we get a chance. They're kind of my garden snack while I'm outside. So definitely going to regrow all 3 or 4 varieties. I did not grow any Brussels sprouts this year. Just they haven't been a successful plant for me. I did grow the long purple eggplant and all 3 varieties of beets. I will increase the number of beets I grow, keep the same varieties but increase the number, and I will probably also increase the eggplant, the number of plants that I grow. Beets were pretty successful for me this year, as were the eggplants. So that is a definite. I will keep those on the docket. In addition to what I listed, I also grew wine cap mushroom, and I am planning on growing at least more wine cap, and will add another type of mushroom. And herbs. Big thing for me. In fact, I grow herbs all year round, both outdoors and in. Pretty successful with fresh herbs, lettuces, through 3 or 4 different types of lettuces. I even grow lettuce indoors all winter as well. And I also cut and dry a lot of my herbs. This is a longleaf lettuce, red romaine lettuce. Pretty successful. This very successful on the Cape, in my Cape garden, and also that's the same variety that I grow indoors. The different types of herbs I grow indoors end up becoming, they get cut and I dehydrate them. And then I end up with just jars and jars of dried herbs all winter long when I'm cooking. In fact, I'm even growing some celery indoors this year. Peppers. Habanada, it's a habanero with all the flavor, no heat. Lemon Aiji is a spicy one. Big red pepper, it's a bell. Golden cow wonder is a bell. And sweet banana. I am not sure I'm going to grow any more sweet banana. It is my most successful plant, but nobody really eats it, so I don't know why I keep planting it. The bell peppers come in. I might try it again another year. They're not as successful as I would like. The habanada was very successful. I may even grow habanero. They're real spicy. The lemon Aiji was extremely successful. Always is a small couple of plants, and there's always a ton of fruit. And plum type tomato. Ukrainian plum, San Marzano, Roma, and yellow plum. I will probably plant many more Roma, less San Marzano, and I will probably do at least 2 flushes of the Roma. Try and stretch out the harvest, get 2 harvests. Or I will stagger the plantings. I use a ton for sauces. And these are where I will make some big changes. I will probably pick either Rio Grande or Manitoba. I will definitely do pineapple. That was very successful. Beefsteak, I'll probably do a couple. I will definitely make some changes of how many of these types. The black crim, and I might cut out the black crim. But we'll see. But definitely going to increase the number of pineapple. That was a fantastic growing tomato for me. And it was fantastic tasting. So. The largest tomato I've ever grown was this pineapple tomato. Likewise, with cherry tomato, I will probably trim out red pear. Tiny Tim I'll keep on the porch. Moonbeam is probably gone. And I'll plant more of the sweetie or a different sweetie variety. The black cherry I love for the color. And the white cherry is like candy. I love it for the flavor. So does everyone in the family. So, sweetie definitely, or some type of sweetie. These moonbeam will be, that's the yellow pear. Probably not going to grow those. Definitely. I like the Tiny Tim because it's a real small plant. Grows on the porch. And the sweetie was very successful. So some variety of sweetie will be going in again. And definitely the white cherry and black cherry. We'll see what else. That's a tough one. Have to decide. Sauces and some canning. I made a ton of tomato sauce. I don't heavily season the tomato sauce. That I do when I'm actually cooking it. So I cook it and can it, or cook it and freeze it. And that is, I puree the tomato and cook it down. A little bit of onion at the time. Then I freeze that in gallons and in quarts. Then when I take it out, I will season it depending on what I'm making, whether it's a lasagna or pasta sauce or pizza sauce or whatnot. Made a ton of that in both gallons and quarts. I made salsas. I made a medium spicy that I call medium spicy with my lemon aiji peppers, and everyone else on the planet would call it I'm a wimp. It's not that spicy. And then I made a very mild salsa. So a couple kinds of salsa. I made a habanero pineapple hot sauce. Again, I call it a hot sauce. Most everybody would call it mild or medium, somewhere in there. Lemon aji and habanero. And then I made some habanero mango hot sauce. Same thing. Uh, Most people would call it a medium. To me, it's very spicy. And bread and butter pickles and dill pickles. So, the sauces. As I mentioned, I made a lot of quarts and gallons of bags, Ziploc bags of frozen sauce, pasta sauce. That's really just a tomato sauce, a little bit of onion in it. Not a lot of spice because I spice it based on what I'm cooking. So quarts and gallons of the sauce, tomato sauce that I cooked up. I made a bunch of different types of salsa, medium and a spicy salsa. Again, I call things spicier than they are. Fresh salsas. I still have some jarred up, canned up, but people will make fun of what I call spicy and medium. But salsas were good. The blueberry vodka I forgot to mention, and the habanero pineapple hot sauce and the habanero mango hot sauce. Two great little sauces, mostly from my garden, except for the fruits. They can't grow tropical fruits here in New England. Bread and butter pickles and dill pickles. We'll try and get more pickles. All right, let's take a look at fruit. I made two kinds of applesauce, a cranberry applesauce and a cinnamon applesauce. I made blueberry jam. Most of that was, well, about half of that was from churro, the blueberries, stolen from my brother's property. But I'll give him a jar. That'll be payment. I made a lavender lemon jelly. Lavender is from my front walk. I grabbed the lavender buds and steeped them. Made a beach plum jam and beach plum jelly, and that is also from churro. All the beach plums are from churro. Made a ton of raspberry jam. I was actually very pleasantly surprised how much I got. I thought it was a down year, and I ended up making more raspberry jam than I normally do. And I made some raspberry liqueur, small batch of raspberry liqueur, small batch of beach plum liqueur. That's fruit. In addition to the blueberry vodka that I made, blueberry flavored vodka, raspberry, blueberry, beach plum, I made, it doesn't list it, but I made a cranberry applesauce and a cinnamon applesauce. Pints and pints of that. I made some lemon lavender jelly again. That's from my front lawn. The blueberry jam, which came up fantastic. That's mostly churro blueberries. The beach plum is all churro beach plum jam. And a ton more raspberry than I expected. I also got some raspberry liqueur and beach plum liqueur. 2025 was a fantastic year. It was a challenging year. Drought. Then we had rains, drenching rains. The garden was all over the place. Some successes, some failures. At this time of year, I always look forward to deciding what to do for next year. So I will be making my seed planting video soon, and making my lists of what to order. I will take a quick inventory of what I have. But The recap, looking back, I know I'm going to make some changes to what I'm planting for tomatoes and peppers. I will add more of some things like the eggplant and the beets, and I will cut out the Brussels sprouts again. Probably change up some of the lettuces I grow, add more herbs. My intent is to always add more of everything, but that never works out. Definitely going to try and get at least two full, if not a third harvest of potatoes, but definitely two harvests of potatoes. I'll probably try and add 2 grow bags of potatoes. I may try strawberries this year, and if I am truly ambitious, I may cut down the dead and dying plum and try and put in 3 other fruit trees. We lost 1 plum, but big changes ahead for 2026 and a great gardening season for 2025. If you've been watching this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. That helps me grow, and that helps you grow. Thank you very much.